Okay, so today's video, I am actually going to open and unbox what I got today. I got a box from Park Seed, and Park Seed is a company that I have ordered a couple things from before in the past. And last year, I pre-ordered some, I guess they're called Whopper Strawberry plants, bare root strawberry plants. And they actually just got here. On this box, well, this box was delivered by UPS. And what gets me kind of worried, it says, may contain live plants. So I actually hope this does contain live plants. So it looks like Jackson and Perkins, Park Seed, Wayside Garden, Van Dyke's. It does say open immediately. It did have a Park Seed code paper on it, I guess because they're importing plants. And we're gonna go ahead and open it up. Last year I did try to grow some strawberries from seed. Did not work out at all. Plus, from what I've seen, it takes a long time for a strawberry plant to get established. So that's kind of why I'm cheating and just ordering bare root plants. And I ordered, I do believe, and I've got to check to see if there's a paper in here, 3 bunches, I think of 10 or 20, I can't remember how many were in a bunch. But it's, give me a look, it's pretty nice packaged. You know, nothing wet or droopy, so very nice package. And then if you look in here, yep, there's 1, 2, 3, and they are pretty heavy. They feel very cool and moist. And it says Park's Whopper Strawberry. Bare root, needs full sun. So why don't you pan out that way, because I'm going to pull out my paperwork. I don't want all my paperwork to be shown on camera. So let me see what I've got here. It says Fragranta Whopper Honey-O Strawberry. And okay, so this is pretty cool. It says thank you for your order. And it has on the back Jackson and Perkins, Wayside Gardens, and Park Seed. So it says thank you for your order, and it has guarantee, and I guess bulbs and planters and bare root plants. I'm guessing that this is directions on how to get them planted and established. So yep, kind of cool to have this, because I did watch a couple of YouTube channels on how to take care of, which this isn't my first time I'm dealing with bare root. I have had bare root apple trees. I've had a bare root plum tree, a bare root blueberry, bare root cherry trees. But this, I do believe, is going to be my first time having bare root strawberries. Well, I mean bare root plant. My first time having a bare root plant. So I'm just going to kind of open up one of these with you guys. And we'll see what they look like. Like I said, the bag's pretty heavy. There doesn't seem to be any, like with the bare root trees that I get from TYTY Nursery, or the bare root blueberry bush. They have lots of gel and stuff in there. This doesn't seem to have any kind of gel or anything. It does feel heavy because it feels moist. It doesn't feel like it's completely wet, but I do see that there are plants. As you can see here, there's definitely life in here. So, and again, I can't remember how many's in a bunch. Let's see if it says on here. Oh, it's 20 in a pack. So 24, so wow, I have 60 strawberry plants. So if I do end up killing some, so it says Parker's Whopper Strawberries, and it says depth, the root ball even with the soil, and it says spacing, they want you to have around 12 inches between moist, well-drained soil, full sun, bloom time is in mid-spring, and I guess harvest is late spring, or no, bloom time would be between mid and late spring. Height, 6 inches, and this is bare root. I did see another one in here. I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but let's see. Yep, another same thing. I guess these, or it's good to have 2 of them because if I'm planting them somewhere else, I kind of know what they are. So it seems like that this is kind of like a fine grainy dirt, I'm guessing. It's very fine and grainy. And we've got a rubber band here. Did I have a pair of scissors? You look under there? Under here? There we go. Let's see. I don't want to pull in that, so I'm just going to cut the rubber bands off. But you can definitely smell the moisture. I'm hoping that wasn't anything important. But yeah, these plant, wow, look at that. That is just one ginormous plant. And in some of the videos that I've seen when people have bare root, they said you can go in and cut off the black old plant. But right now, I just kind of want to show you guys. That is one huge, I was thinking these were going to be itty bitty things, but that is a very nice size plant. Like I said, some of them do have leaves already. And, well, I mean, of course you can see the new growth, but they always say to open them up and check them. And make sure that, wow, that one's going to be awesomely big. Look at that. Jeez. So I have no idea how old these plants would be, but to have, if you've ever seen the size or eaten a strawberry, the seeds are so tiny. So from a tiny seed going from this, I'm assuming that these are some very well-established plant. Like for instance, I got a little bitty one here. This is definitely a little bit smaller than the rest, but I'm not complaining. But yeah, there is definitely some room to trim these. And it also says to count them, so I want to make sure that there's, yeah, see, they put some baby ones in there too. So it's good that they, you know, I did get small ones, but I mean, when they throw in some like this, that is very good. I don't see any mold or mildew or fungus or any bugs or pests or anything. Look, that is a ginormous. Wow. Yes, definitely. I have, like I said, I've seen videos where people, you know, are getting ready to plant them, and they say definitely you want to soak them and get them a drink. Oops. Sorry. So I'm going to count them real quick. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to count them all, put them back in the bag, because I'm not going to plant them today, but I am, and I will do a video on them. So we have, ready? Count with me. One strawberry plant. Ho, 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 ho. 2 strawberry plants. No, I'm joking. 2. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, little baby one, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21, 22, 23. So I'm guessing that the couple little bitty smaller ones that they just kind of put in there, and I appreciate that because I said, you know, it's nice to have established plants. So again, you're looking, here's the root system. This is the, what they call, I guess the stem or like the root ball. So whenever you're getting a new plant, and I'm just going to kind of show you on this one, that's why I kept it out. You want to clip off the like blackened and dead plant from the year before, because that's not going to do the plant any good. It's just taking up space and nutrients. So that right there seems like a good vine, and that one's a good vine. So these ones here aren't as black and dead as these are. These still have green on them, so I'm going to leave them there. And what you would do from looking at the videos is you would let them soak in water. I've seen some people just throw them all in like a bucket and submerge them, but what I will probably do is I will probably just submerge them because I don't want water and everything to get into them. I might do a rinse off, but I will not leave them submerged underwater. I just want the root system to get a good drink, get hydrated before it gets planted. But it says you want to plant it in loose, well-draining soil in full sun, and you want to keep it planted to where, see this little notch, so right where the root ball happens, you want it to be right above the ground. So you don't want to be covering the whole plant, and you don't want to be, you want it to be just kind of like right in here. All right, so has anyone had bare root strawberries delivered before? And if so, how'd it go for you? You know, do you have any tips, tricks, anything? Like I said, I'm gonna look more on YouTube and Google and that to try to make sure that these things survive. A couple other things I've seen people do is when they first get planted and they start sprouting flowers, that they say to go ahead and pinch off the first flowers while the plants are getting established. You want the root system to be good and established. So if at the very beginning, if you let the flowers grow in that and it starts making fruit, the roots are going to be fighting between nutrients for the roots and the fruit. So you don't want to do that. So a lot of people say to pinch off those first flowers for the first couple weeks or up to a month. And then after that, you can go ahead and let it grow, get established. Another thing is they say if you don't pinch off the first flowers, the fruit tends to be smaller because, like I said, it's splitting nutrients between the roots and the fruit. So once the plant gets established in about a month and you start letting the fruit grow, then the plant can start putting more energy toward you getting bigger and beautiful fruit. Now, while I'm doing the bags here, I'm gonna say that first one weighed a pretty decent amount. And then this one right here is actually, you can feel it, and it, to me, it does look and feel smaller. You okay? Mm-hmm. You're excited about having strawberry plants? Strawberries, yeah. So this one does seem to be a little, I mean, when you look at it, you can kind of see that it is smaller. It does feel smaller. So I definitely am going to open that because, like I said, these two here, these first two, they feel big. They feel like they have. So let me go ahead and open this while I'm on camera with you. Let's see how small these ones are compared to the other ones. It's a good thing I don't have long fingernails. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on. And I don't want to rip open the bag because I want to reuse the bag. Because again, I'm not planting them today. But I got excited, so I wanted to open them with you. Now, here, look. So this is funny. So The bigger bag had, like this one had 2 in it. This smaller bag here has only 1. So I'm guessing that's kind of how they're marking which bag is which size. This is a smaller bag, smaller plants, so it only gets 1. These are bigger, more established plants, so they have 2. So that's kind of sneaky. You know, as much as, you know, I am getting a couple extra plants in there, but, you know, I guess it just kind of, it is what it is. So, let's look at this. Yeah, you can definitely tell these are, now there are more green leaves in this one than the last one. And yeah, these are definitely, you can feel they're definitely smaller. Now there's a pop and a big one. I wouldn't say really too big. I'd say they're more small mediums. Well, you know what? That one actually is pretty big, but let's see. And then I'll do a count real quick. But I am extremely excited about these plants. Now, I do believe these plants did come from China. Okay, so no, what do you call it? No surprise, because some of the other places that I order stuff from, like bulbs and stuff, will come from Holland. So strawberry plants, you know, you see some of the leaves here. I'm definitely cutting off as I see them, because I don't want them to be diseased. And I mean, it's something I'm gonna trim off a lot of this stuff anyway. But I definitely want to cut this stuff off immediately, because I don't want it affecting, you know, if that's what it is, if it's disease or if it's just from the travel, I just don't want it affecting any of the other plants. All right, so let's see how many's in here. You ready? Mm-hmm. And you got to be careful, because it looks like it's 1, but there's actually 2. And when you're pulling them apart, you see, there's another one. That's another little baby. That's got to be the tiniest one so far. Baby. So when you're pulling them apart, make sure you're being very gentle and just, you know, teasing them apart. Don't yank and, you know, do it quickly. So you ready? We're gonna count. 1. Make sure that's 1. Don't let me lose count, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That one's got a long 19, 20, 21, and a baby, 22. Okay, so I'm actually going to get these put back here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and take a minute or two and do a last count on this last bag. But yeah, I do believe that that's one of the strawberry plants had sent out this. I do believe what this is, this teeny tiny one, I do believe this was a runner. And learning about strawberry plants is that the main strawberry mama plant will send out what they're called runners, which is just a little bud. And if it meets the ground, it'll root there, okay? So it'll make an entirely new plant. Now the thing of it is if the runner never touches ground, like for instance, if it's hanging in that, it will never create another plant. Another cool fact is that when the mama plant sends out the runners, this is like an umbilical cord to the baby plant. So if you cut this before the plant actually establishes, it'll kill it, because the mama plant is actually sending all the nutrients to the baby plant through this, just like an umbilical cord. So if the plant does not root and get established and you cut it or it breaks or something, this plant will die. So the only time that this plant will survive is if it roots and establishes itself, and then you can cut it and you can relocate it. So that's super cool. That was something I did not know. That makes me want, because I was gonna put my strawberries in like hanging containers, and that makes me not want to do it anymore, because I've seen people who have started strawberries like 25 years ago and they still have the same kind of plant, because every year they'll collect the runners, and it just kind of is ongoing and ongoing and ongoing, where you keep, you know, getting strawberries from that plant. And like I said, these strawberries here, they were selling out pretty fast, because they're supposed to be Whopper giant strawberries that are very sweet. So these are supposed to be the big ones that they use like for Valentine's Day and that, chocolate, you know, dipping. Come on. Whoever ties these knots does a really good job of it. These are some tight knots. All right, last bag. And like I said, leave in the comments, have you ever yourself, I mean, if you've gotten from Park Seed or from Parks, from Park Seed before, let me know how yours came in. Let me know how, like I said, this one has 2. So, and this one definitely, you can definitely see and feel, this is much, much bigger. Much, much bigger. All right, and we do have some of those yellowing leaves with some black spot on it. Now, I know a lot of plants will have like black spot and stuff like that. So again, that's why I want to go ahead and get those cut off right away, because I do not want that spreading or affecting the plants. And if, because like I said, I mean, I have my apple trees and all that stuff, and fungus and stuff like that travels. So I don't know if doing that helps or not, but yep, let's see. And then we'll do a count here. But I just want to kind of open them up. And like I said, these plants are beautiful. They are, I mean, even the smaller ones are beautiful and healthy, and you know, I'm glad, like the box says, may contain live flowers. I'm so glad that they are alive. All right, so we're gonna count real quick and see how many's in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, like this one right here. This is a perfect example. This is the mama plant, and this is a runner. So right now, do you see that little baby plant? Mm-hmm. That is so cool. How many was that, 7? No. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7. 8. 9, 10. And like I said, just kind of tease them apart. 11, 12. There's 13. 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 in that one, and then this one is pretty cool. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Again, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. It definitely helps. Leave a comment. What do you think about the Bear roots, the Bear Strawberry roots from this company, from Park Seed? This isn't a promotional thing or anything. This is just something that, again, with my second year of gardening, it's something I'm doing. But, oh, that's okay. That's fine. I'm getting ready to end. But, all right. So, again, like, comment, subscribe, and I so appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. And the next video that I will show on this is where I'm going to soak them and actually start getting them planted. Also, with having so many, I am going to be giving a couple of them to, like, my mom to have her grow some, and my sister and that. So, you know, I'm definitely going to share these strawberry plants. But, all right. See you in the next video. Bye.